Alright, today we're doing a review on the Phenyx Pro PTU 5000 wireless mic system. Now, this wireless mic system has 4 independent wireless mics in a 1 rack space unit. So today we're going to do an unboxing. I'm going to briefly describe how to set it up and how it works. I'm going to take it with me on a gig tonight, so we're going to do a field test. And then I'll come back and we'll do a final video for final thoughts on how everything worked. Here we go. We're going to unbox it now. Alright. We have 2 layers. The top layer is the unit itself and both of the antennas. So, take this. Alright, it's metal, feels really good. I have read the manual, I've watched a couple of online videos. We have 2 channels on the right side, we have 2 channels on the left side. We have 4 independent output controls on the front. We have the power button, and then on each end is a place that you can run the antenna extension around to the front, so that if you put it in a rack, your antennas will be on the front. These extensions do not come with this model, but they're pretty cheap to get, so you can find them at just about any music store. On the back, 2 antennas. Screw those in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 XLR outputs for your each independent mic. And then you have a 1/4 inch output if you're running to less than professional gear. Alright, so that is that. We will move on to underneath. On the second layer down, we have a power supply. Comes with the unit. We have 4 sets of AA batteries. We have 4 microphones. So, also has a manual and a comment card that comes in it. I have already read the manual. It also comes with a 1/4 inch cable with a 1/4 inch female to 1/8 inch male adapter, so you could plug this into a stereo headphone jack. Very handy to have. We're going to go over briefly how to use the PTU 5000 and show you that when you turn it on, you can see all 4 individual frequencies. Now, they are fixed. They cannot be changed. They're a fixed, locked frequency. And I've been thinking, well, you know, that's going to be a problem. But really, it's not a problem. Most of the wireless stuff that's out today from just about everybody has multiple frequencies. So go through, check your gear. If you have a fixed frequency, and I know they do exist, there are guitar wirelesses that are fixed frequency, look at the frequencies of your other wireless devices. If they don't match these 4 frequencies exactly, then you're going to be fine. If they're sweepable, where you can change them, then turn this on, turn the other one on, hit the scan feature, it'll find the open frequency, and you're going to be just fine. So 541.50, 547.30, 561.60, and 567.80 are your 4 locked frequencies. Alright? Now, the other thing is that on the front, these 4 knobs on here are your output of the unit to your board. And I have found, by playing with this a little bit off camera, that you do not want to overdrive the output. And it can be done, it's not hard. But you want to find that sweet spot where your voice sounds really good, there's no distortion, everything is clean. So I've got this set at about 9:30, 10 o'clock on the clock dial, and it sounds really good. So I'm coming out 1/4 inch on the back and running into a Behringer XR 18 digital console and going through my studio speakers, which are the Event TR6s. They're old, but they work rather well. So we're going to turn the microphone on. Checking 1 2 1 2.
I am running all of that into the board. I have it EQ'd just a little bit. The mic, you're going to EQ the mic to however your voice and what fits your voice. And it was a little bass heavy on my voice, so I brought off some of the low end. I do not have any compression on it, and there are no effects. So what you're hearing right now is the microphone into the X-Air, slight EQing, going straight into my camera's microphone. So coming up in a little bit, I'm going to take this to my gig tonight, and I'm going to let you know that there are approximately 107 stages in an 8-block area of Nashville. And we're going to see how the fixed frequencies do. Like I said, it should be fine. The club I'm playing at doesn't have a band above us. There's usually 3 floors and a rooftop, so you have 4 bands per building. Could be anywhere from, I don't know, 16 to 25 people playing in each building all the time, almost 24 hours a day. Not quite, but almost. So I'm going to plug it in, see how it goes, see if we get any interference. I'm going to run, because our changeover times are very, very fast, I'm going to run just one microphone so the sound man's not trying to plug everything up, and see how we do. And I'm going to bet that it's going to be awesome. This sounds really, really good right now. It's very clear, very crisp. I think this unit would be great with bands. It's going to be great for public speaking. It's going to be great for if you're doing a home karaoke thing and everybody wants a microphone, it's definitely there. And I think that the purchase of this, $189 on Amazon, is where it was the last time I checked. I think the purchase, you'll be very, very happy with the purchase of this. So coming up next, I have a show tonight, and I'll be downtown Nashville. I'll be filming some of this and showing you guys what all I'm doing, and you know, where the bands are and proximity, and then we'll do a final feature tomorrow when I get home and let you guys know how this thing performed.
World famous Whiskey Bit Saloon, got a gig tonight, and we're going to try out the PTU 5000. I'm going to use one mic. I talked to the sound man, he's going to hook it up, and we'll get some sound on video. The thing I talked about earlier was lots and lots of bars. So what I'm going to do is try to flip the camera. There is Jason Aldean's club. 3 floors and a rooftop stage. Wannabes, 2 floors. Luke Bryan's across there, 2 floors, rooftop. Kid Rocks. All of these places have bands on every floor. So if we don't have any problem with the fixed frequencies here, probably shouldn't have any when you get the unit. But like I said before, just check the gear and make sure that your frequencies are fine, and we'll see how things go. So PTU 5000 and Whiskey Bit, I got it set up. I'm going to be using it here in a little bit, and we'll see what the thing sounds like. I'll try to get some more video. Don't say the word. It's just a piece of your bed. Clean was in your Final thoughts on the PTU 5000. Last night I took it, as you see in the video, I took it downtown Nashville, plugged it in. The building next door, the club next door to me, was running 4 stages, so there were at least 20 musicians on stage. I know the second floor over there, they use in-ear monitors. We had no frequency problems at all. So if you're going to be playing a club and there's not really going to be anything around you, as long as you check your wireless frequencies, so you know that, you know, when you buy this unit, that these 4 frequencies out of all the thousands, you know, are clear, that you don't have anything that's going to conflict, this is good to go. I had some friends that were playing the 10 to 2 shift, and I had the microphone, and I have a rather expensive big name brand microphone, wireless microphone that I sing on. So I had this one, I was holding it, and I told him what was going on, but I didn't tell him which mic was which. And I said, just go out front and listen. And so I would sing one line of a song on this one, and then I would jump over and sing the other line on the more expensive microphone. And at the end, it was the last song of the night. At the end of the night, I asked the guys, which microphone did you like better? And they all picked the Phenyx Pro. They said it was clearer, and it was easier to understand what I was singing, and they said it sounded good. So I asked the sound man how he liked the microphone. He said it had a very nice presence to it. He said it had a little bit of high end. He goes, but not the high end that's distorted and crunchy. He said it was the high end that's very nice. It cut through a mix. He had to do very little to the microphone. He did EQ it a little bit, but he did very little to the microphone for the mixing that he did in the room. I'm very, very happy with this. If there was any complaint at all, is that you get all this great stuff, and it's got the holes in the front of the unit so that you can take the antennas, run them to the front. The only thing it doesn't come with is the actual cable to do that. All right, so I'm going to have to go find that, but that shouldn't really be any big deal, and it's not really going to be much of an expense. Very nice microphone. Whether you're using it for church, karaoke, live band situation, and I will tell you that I am very picky about my microphones as a singer. I'll have a link in the description below to my band, and you can go watch, judge for yourself. This is a good system. So we're going to get this incorporated. All the guys are going to have their own wireless microphone. It's on Amazon right now. I just checked this morning for, which is mid-March, for $189. That is a ridiculously good price for 4 wireless microphones in a single rack space unit. I like it. I'm very happy with it. You can leave comments below, and I'd love to hear from you and hear what you think about it. Also, one other thing. I've been contacting Phenyx Pro. I had one issue with the microphone. I got a hold of them on Facebook through the messenger. They got right back with me. They took care of the problem. I am very, very happy with their customer service. I read some reviews on Amazon where it said that they emailed the person and they didn't hear back. The response from Phenyx Pro was, yes, we have emailed you. It was on this date. Check your spam folder. So I'm not emailing companies anymore. If I find them on Facebook, I try to communicate with them through Facebook Messenger. These guys are very responsive. They are awesome to work with, and I wanted to add that to this review. So if you're thinking about this, 4 wireless microphones, 1 rack space unit, fixed frequencies. But I was downtown Nashville last night playing with it, mid-March again, and the system did great. I am very impressed. I can't believe you can get this quality for $189, but you can. So until I get another review, I hope you like. If you buy it, I hope you like it, and I'll post more as I find great stuff. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channels, and don't forget to click the little bell that should be over on some part of the screen for notifications when new things are available. Alright, that'll wrap it up for now until we get the next review. Thank you.
What's up, audio nerds? Welcome to the Audio Hotline, the channel where I review audio gear for beginners, professionals, and everyone in between. Today I have a wireless microphone system that I am going to be reviewing. It's mostly used for live work, but the other day I kind of got thinking, hey, a wireless microphone system could be awesome for like a podcast with multiple people. Like, imagine not having to deal with all those cables and just literally having your interface plugged directly into this and just good to record. That sounds awesome to me, so I wanted to give that a shot today and see if this particular one could be a good option. And another thing that would be nice is using these for YouTube content and just plugging that wireless receiver potentially right into your camera or sending it into an external recorder like the Zoom H5. This wireless system is the Phenyx Pro PTU 5000. It is a 4-channel UHF wireless system. You can find the Phenyx Pro PTU 5000 on Amazon for $189.99. So this system actually does come with 4 separate microphones. They even have the cute little rubber bands you can put on if you want that I always take off. But if you're doing a podcast and you you want to designate whose mic is who so you don't get someone's disgusting breath in your mouth hole, then this is a good way to do it with the rubber bands. But if you came to see if this is worthy of live work, such as speeches, music, or just whatever, I'll be covering all of the specs, all of the basics, but I'll also just be talking about the overall quality of it when it comes to the sound of it just going straight into an interface. When it comes to live work, you have a little bit more leeway on how much noise floor you can have, which is basically the amount of noise that this microphone has on its own when no one is talking into it. So as you can hear right now, there is a little bit of noise, but I wanted to see if this was a tolerable noise floor and if you could fix it up in post a little bit to make it a little better. As you can see in the back of my shot right here, I do have the wireless system set up, and also I have it going into my Zoom H5 currently. Right now the microphone gain on the actual wireless system is only at about 30%, and on the Zoom H5 it's about at 50%. One thing I noticed when I was hooking this up is that the preamps on the H5 are obviously a little less noisy than the ones on the wireless system, so I decided to bump those up a little bit more than use the wireless system. Well, now that we talked about what we're going to do today, let's go ahead and unbox this and see everything that comes with it. When you purchase the Phenyx Pro PTU 5000, you will get the wireless receiver, which on the back has 4 XLR inputs that you can send out to your mixer or your interface. There's also a mix out option that you can use to send to your mixer or interface as well. With this comes 2 pretty long antennas that you attach to the back of the wireless unit. As stated before, this wireless system comes with 4 microphones. These microphones are pretty much in the style of the Shure SM58. That's pretty much what they look like. They have a nice little screen on the front of them so you can see which frequency you are on and see if it matches with the front of the wireless system. The on and off switch is at the very bottom of the microphone. You will also get a power brick, which is how you power the wireless receiver. This will also come with 8 total AA batteries. 2 will go into each microphone. And then you have your mix out cable. This allows you to plug it into the mix out input and send that signal out to your interface. When it comes to the build quality of all this, I actually think it is very solid. I think that it feels really good. When it comes to everything, I would say that the weakest link is actually the build quality of the microphones. I do think that they are still nice. They are a very nice plastic, but they are plastic. I do think that they could take a decent beating, but I would try to be as careful as possible, which you should do with all audio equipment. I would say the highlight of the build quality is actually the wireless receiver. This thing is built extremely well, all metal, all the knobs are so nice. Like, you just know that this wireless receiver is going to last, and these might be some of the most satisfying knobs to turn. That sounded dirty. Well, now that we've unboxed this system, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about some of the microphone specs. Instead of going through like so many specs, I'm just going to go ahead and leave the link in the description to like the owner's manual. That way you can just go read it on your own and we don't have to waste like 17 minutes. But I'm going to tell you just a couple basic specs, mostly about the microphone. This microphone has a frequency response of 50 Hz to 18 kilohertz. The working distance of this wireless system is 260 feet. All of these microphones transmitters require 2 AA batteries. The battery life should last at least 8 hours with original batteries for each transmitter. The output impedance of the XLR connector is 200 ohms, and of the antenna connector, it is 50 ohms. And as you can see right now, for the last little bit, I've been using a little windscreen. It's just to save your ears in case the plosives are bad, but I won't be using this the whole time when we test this microphone out. This particular one, I'll leave a link in the description. It is actually a Shure windscreen, which I really like. It's made for the SM86. Well, now that we've gone through the basics, the overview, and a little bit of a demonstration, let me go ahead and test this particular microphone out, and we'll see how it sounds. If you want to sound a little bit more sensual while you're talking into your microphone, so you get really close to it, here's how it could sound. If you're one of those people that gets a little nervous on stage, so you put the microphone a little too close to your face, here's how it's gonna sound. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. 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 Now we'll do a quick polar pattern test. If you talk into the front of the microphone directly, here is how it sounds. If you talk into the side of the microphone, here's how it sounds. And if you talk into the back of the microphone, here's how it sounds. Now before I get too far into this, the one downfall already that I know about it for podcasting is the fact that it doesn't come with any mic clips. So there's no way to mount these microphones without going and purchasing your own. If you're going to be using this microphone while you're typing on a keyboard super loud, maybe while you're podcasting or YouTubing or whatever, then here's how it could sound. And if you are going to be using this wireless system with this microphone to record podcasts or YouTube content or whatever you want some post-processing on, here's how it could sound with some minimal EQ, some compression, and some de-essing. And if you are going to be using this microphone on stage and you're going to be passing it back and forth, maybe putting it on a tiny little mic clip, here's how the handling noise can sound. Earlier, Bronson here, doing a little distance test for this wireless system. Right now I'm in my backyard. I'm about 20 feet away from the wireless unit. It says that it can reach up to 200, but right now it is actually inside, so it is fighting up against a wall and everything. But that's the thing, though, is I'm like, is that really a disadvantage? Because a lot of wireless units are going to be in racks under desks, so they're going to be fighting that anyway. But we'll walk a little bit, see what we can do. Right now we're probably 30 feet away now, 100 feet away now, at least. Yeah, hopefully this is doing pretty well. Or hopefully you can hear me. Snyder the dog is trying to help me out right now with this wireless test. He's not being super helpful, though, I'll tell you that much. Just walking around, a little distance. I would say we're staying 100 to 80 feet away from it for sure. We'll go on the further side of the yard now. It's probably closer to 150 feet away from where the wireless unit is. So now we're a solid 150 away, and here's how this sounds. Well, now that we've gone through the overview, a little bit of a demonstration, the specs, and the testing, I'm going to go ahead and get to my review of the PTU 5000 by Phenyx Pro. Me personally, if I had a podcast with 4 people and I had this around, which I guess I do, I don't think that I would pull this out to record them, but you got to understand, though, that I've accumulated a lot of microphones and I have a lot of different interfaces, and I use like an ADAT 8-channel preamp with my Universal Audio Apollo, and I just feel like I'm gonna get a lot better quality out of something like that. But that's also 10 times the price, maybe more, probably more actually. So if you are interested in this item, the way that you should break it down is convenience, if you have enough people to make this worth it, and also price. If you look at it like this, you're going to have an interface that records 4 inputs anyway. If you're going to use a Behringer interface that has 4 inputs, I think that's around $150 to $200. If you put this on top of that, you're looking at about $400 to wirelessly record your podcast. If you like this microphone quality, it sounds good to you, and you have a 4-channel interface, or you're looking to get one, and you want the convenience of a wireless system, I think that this is a decent way to go. I don't think it's bad. This is one of those things that it's hard for me to judge, and I don't want to be biased, so I'm just going to put it out there that if you like the idea of this, awesome. I think that it would work well in that scenario. I do think that using a little bit of a noise remover or a noise suppressor to get rid of some of the hum and hiss in this microphone is definitely a good call, but I do think it is very manageable. I think that it could sound solid. So do I recommend this for podcasting or YouTube creation? I can't necessarily say I completely wholeheartedly recommend it. I think that it depends on your circumstances. I think that if you're looking for a wireless system that can handle 3 to 4 people and you're on a budget, then yeah, I would recommend it. I think that using this to its full capabilities with all 4 microphones or 3 microphones, I think that's what really makes this worth it, especially for the price. But if you're going to just record 1 to 2 people, I may look a different way. but that is just solely for recording. When it comes to live, I actually think that this is a solid budget option. But listen to that though, this is a budget option. So I don't think it's as quality as way more expensive items, but it is definitely good for its price, especially for live work. I think this would be a solid option for conferences, speeches, stuff like that. A place where you need multiple microphones and, you don't have a whole lot of cash to spend. So overall, I do think that this is a solid product. I do wish I had some mic clips with it. I wish the noise floor was a little bit less. And as far as the frequency response, I think it sounds fine. I don't think it's bad at all. I do think there are better microphones out there in general, but for what you're using this for, I think that this is completely passable and sounds good. Thanks for watching this review of the PTU 5000 wireless system. I hope it helped you out, helped you decide whether you want to buy this or not. But most of all, I hope you had fun. Stay tuned for a lot more reviews, a lot more comparisons, and also some tutorial stuff coming up, as well as just some other little fun things, just sprinkled right on top, just sprinkled. That's my clown name, actually. It's Sprinkles. Sprinkle Spankle. That's my clown name. Sprinkled. Don't be gross. It's not Sprinkle Spank Your Hole. It's Sprinkle Spankle. Once again, thanks for watching the audio hotline. I'll see you nerds later. Sprinkled.
It goes over the transmitter or the transmitters, depending on what you get. So you can have a handheld, or you can have body packs, or you can have both. This is the receiver package, very nicely. Put this in here now. So, the receiver itself, let's take a look at this. It's the Phenyx PTU 5000, power button, individual volume channels for 1 through 4, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. It has a digital display on here, and it has the volume knobs, as I mentioned, the digital display, and it's rack mountable. On the sides here, you can rack mount this. If you want to rack mount this, you can get a shallow depth rack mount case, and I believe it would fit perfectly in there. That's where you would put the antennas on the back, and it has all XLRs and a 1/4 inch output. So if you want to just run all 4 microphones off of one channel, you can do that by using the 1/4 inch out. Or if you want to do more professional use into individual channels, you can use XLR, so XLR 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you would plug it into the mixer board that you have on your Pro Audio system, and the power in button, so for your DC input. That's how that looks. Right off the bat, I can tell you about the antennas. They are 1/2 inch wave antennas. So we're going to be setting this up. Half wave inch antennas provide better reception, overall better results when transmitting any sort of signal, opposed to the 1/4 inch antennas. Shooting it has a good feel to it. It's metal, which is great. Antennas flip up, so you can from this way. This is the best case that you want to use them for, is at a 90-degree angle like that. So in the box, I'll show it to you guys here. Comes with 4 microphones. Comes with batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes with 4 sets of batteries. Never complain about having too many batteries. So I'm going to set this box to the side. I'll leave the manual here in case we need to refer to it. here. So this is a 1/4 inch to a 1/8 inch cord here, but the 1/8 inch looks like it's an adapter, so that's like a typical headphone jack. If you take it off, it's 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch. And the power. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on and do a test. And bear with me here as I get situated. So if we have to, we will refer to the manual. So right off the bat, this is definitely very well built. It's a metal microphone, has a good solid feel. It's nice and heavy, and has a digital display here in the front. So we're going to go ahead and plug in 2 batteries. This is very useful for any event where you need multiple people talking on the microphone. So in a church, if you're going to be doing some singing, karaokeing, anything of that sort. So on the bottom here, I can see the power button. That's pretty standard. I think Sennheiser has that as well in terms of their power button. So that's how you turn it on. Turn it on. It shows the channel, which is channel 3, and it shows the wireless signal and the frequency that is on. Hopefully you guys can see that. So right off the bat, I already know this is going to be channel 3. Back here. Let me plug it into my Behringer speaker, which has a 1/4 inch input. You plug it in, you want to make sure your volume is turned all the way down for performing any test. Power button, and this is going to be channel 3. So I'm going to go ahead and turn down volume 3. I'm going to power this thing on. On here you'll see channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. It has the frequency set on there. So they're all within the 500 megahertz frequency range. So channel 3 is set at 561.80 or 561.60. I'm going to leave this forward here. So I'm going to bring my volume up on the mixer. Bring my volume up on channel 3. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to bring it up about halfway. I'm going to control it from the mixer on the back of the speaker. Flip this on. 1, 2, 1, 2. So right off the bat, without actually having to program anything or anything like that, it works perfectly. So I'm going to go and control the volume. It sounds good. It's very clear. I'm going to walk around the studio here. So I'm about 20 feet away, 25 feet away. As you can see, it's very clear. I'm going to show you guys this here. Hopefully you guys can see that. But as I was mentioning before, it's the wireless signal, the frequency, and the channel. Check 1, 2, test 1, 2. So this would be definitely useful in any situation where you need multiple microphones. So you can actually mix these up as well. If you wanted to use 2 handhelds, 2 body packs, the body packs can be used for a lavalier or a headset, or even an instrument. You can use this during a ceremony. If you want to have the officiant set up with a lapel or a handheld, you want to set up the bride and groom as well, you can do that. Or if somebody's going to be reading a prayer, you can have a second microphone to the side so they can say the prayer, or a special speech on the side. Or if you use this at a wedding, you can give one to the best man, the father of the bride, the maid of honor. That's 3 people, and and whoever else wants to say the speech as well, or whoever else has anything else to say. And all these microphones here dial up to the individual channels that are located on the receiver. So far, I mean, this is great. This can be used in any situation, like I said, with anybody that needs more than one microphone, which is most of the time. So that's it. This is the Phenyx Pro PTU 5000. This is a UHF receiver. It's with the diverse antennas. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I definitely recommend it. Anybody that needs a wireless microphone, this is a great company, and so far they've been producing really, really good stuff. Thank you for watching.
This microphone is, it's a very good microphone. I have very few complaints about this microphone. Let's talk about the things that I like. The sound. The sound in this microphone is very, very good. I would put this in between the microphones of like the SM58 and maybe 87s, the ones that are found on the SLXs and the GLX systems. This falls right in between both of them. It's got a really good sound. Not a lot of EQing needs to be done to make it sound good. The pickups in the microphone are actually very, very good. I didn't find I had to adjust the volume. As a matter of fact, I had to turn the volumes down. I know there's a 10 plus built into the microphone. I think it's in the knobs and it's not an actual switchable plus 10 to give you that extra power. But it's very loud. It has a really nice pickup. Sound is good. It's warm, not a lot of EQing. I did notice that if the decibel level on your speakers got too loud, you do risk having a little feedback in these. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Just like with the other review I did about the Shores, and I talked about the fact that when you have a microphone and you have a larger front element here that's picking up a lot of external frequencies, which is good for people that are talking that aren't experienced with microphones, but bad for just residual sound. And if it gets too loud, you're going to start to get sound that you don't want crossing into this microphone. Then you may get a little bit of feedback. I didn't get a lot because I know how to adjust for the feedback, but that is something to keep in mind. Distance, the range is very, very good on this thing. I mean, obviously I didn't travel outside and across the street to make sure that the range was good, but within an entire room, within a group of people, I walked all the way to the end of the dance floor, all the way to the end of the room, and never had a single problem with the microphone as far as picking up the antennas. So that's good. There are 4 of these, and so that makes for a healthy backup system. So I use this on 2 different parties. I use this one on a bar mitzvah, and I actually let my female MC use it, and that's always a big question mark when you're dealing with females versus males on how the sound is, and because you have to EQ females sometimes very differently than you EQ a male. She was on the microphone all night with it, and her vocals actually sounded really good. I have no complaints about this microphone being able to be used between men and women. It's a good sounding microphone. It's weighty. It is very weighty, which is good. It does make you feel like you have a nice piece of equipment in your hands. I don't love the fact of the metal. That little metal thing is kind of annoying, and it does add some weight. You take off this slip piece here, and the microphone is noticeably lighter. But once you put it back on, that's when it gets a little bit on the weightier, beefier side, which makes it feel like a little bit of a more higher end microphone. But don't let that fool you. It's false weight. I mean, the system is good, but that's just what it is. So let's talk about what I don't like / what I'm concerned with. And then the 2 major things that I absolutely don't like, and I forgot to talk about them, so I'm actually back in the video going to show you what I'm talking about here. I cannot stand the placement of that power button. The power button, it actually sits in between the edge of the sleeve and the button. Now, if you see here the button, you can see there's a full button right there. But when you put the sleeve on it, wrong way, when you put the sleeve on it and you tighten it up, you don't get the entire button. You get like 3/4 of the button. So it makes it for a real nice, I can't turn it off situation, but you can't turn it off without looking for that button. On normal microphones like a Shure or the Sennheiser, the microphone is usually at the exact bottom, the switch, or on the side. You can just hit the button right here in your hand. This one, you have to bring your hand down. It's almost a 2-handed operation. And I don't like that feeling, knowing that I have to kind of look, turn it on, and then turn it back off. And then the final thing, not a deal breaker, but kind of a big deal. There is absolutely no way to turn this microphone off. You can turn off the display, but in essence, what you're really doing is you're just muting it. See, when the green is on, which is always on, it never turns off. When the green display is on, it is on. And then when you press the button on the back, you turn it off, but you're not really turning it off. You see the display is still active. You're still seeing the display, which means the battery is still being used. There is no mute. Basically, the on off button is the mute. It's either muted or it's on. There is no true off. The only way to turn off, to completely turn off the microphone, is to remove the batteries out of the bay. That's an annoyance. I've never seen a microphone system do that. They always have an off. Most of the time they don't have a mute function, but they always have at least an on and an off. This one does not. Not a deal breaker. It's just something you have to understand, that when you're done for the evening, open up the bay, take the batteries out, and then you don't have to worry about killing your batteries, because I used it on Saturday, full batteries. Only used it for, a couple hours. Then I went to the karaoke and I turned it on, which was like 3 days later, and 2 of the microphones had dead transmitters because the battery is always on. So remember, just take out the batteries after you're done with it, or you're going to kill a whole bunch of batteries unnecessarily. The fixed microphone frequencies are a little bit of a concern to me, and that's only if you're buying this particular model. I don't run into too many times where the frequencies versus the channel play into problems with the system where, I'm getting pops, I'm getting cutouts. Usually I can just adjust the channel and then I don't have that issue. But because each microphone operates on its own fixed frequency, you do risk sometimes running into issues where you can't find, where that frequency is just being taken up by whatever system's on, and it's more powerful than your microphone, and then you risk having your microphone cease to work, or at least work very, very poorly in the venue that you're at, or the location that you're at. So that's something you're gonna have to realize. But when you do that, maybe you just switch to a higher frequency microphone of the 4, which means, 1, you gotta bring all 4 microphones in order to make sure that you're gonna have at least 1 microphone that works. That's a little bit of an annoyance to me. The fact that the higher end microphone has the variable frequency range would lead me to say it's probably better if you buy the variable. Now, did I run into any issues with this microphone? No, not whatsoever. And at $189, I mean, it's a steal for what you get. I mean, you get a nice receiver with a great distance, great travel distance. You get 4 microphones that are all of decent quality. Yeah, you're dealing with the fixed frequency, but for some people, that's not gonna matter. One of the things that I really liked about it is that I actually used the mic system for karaoke. I did a karaoke event, and it was really convenient to be able to just leave 4 microphones on the table, and then I had enough microphones to cover anybody that wanted to sing. I could adjust the knobs right on the face of the receiver plate, and it was easy to adjust the volumes. Yeah, I couldn't EQ them per se, but when you're dealing with karaoke, for the most part, it's just a whole bunch of drunk singers anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it was perfect, worked perfectly. So for something like that, for something when you're dealing with like a karaoke, instead of having to bring, I did a karaoke for a grad party last year, and they wanted multiple microphones. I had to bring 4 receivers, 4 microphones. So that means I needed to bring all these plugs and all these XLRs to plug it into the mixer. Now, I don't have to do that. I can bring this one receiver, I can plug the 1/4 inch, the XLR into a mixer, or I can feed them individually into the mixer with the 4 channels on there, and then EQ the hell out of them however I want. That is fantastic. So I think that for a lot of people in a lot of different situations, this is gonna be a game changer. Keep in mind, you can swap out the microphones for, say, a couple of lapel mics, where you can use 2 lapel mics and have 2 microphones. Then this might make a really good wedding box. You got 4 channels. You got one for the officiant, one for the bride, a lapel for the bride, a lapel for the groom, and maybe you have one more for like a guitarist. So you get all of that stuff done right in one little box. Makes your setup very, very simple. Now, I know that the higher end companies are coming out with 4-channel receiver microphone setups, and you can just buy it through there. And of course, sure, I mean, if you want to do that, that's great. But if you're looking for something that's a little more affordable, well, maybe you look into this Phenyx system. And then if you want something a little better with even better range, the upgraded Phenyx version, which sells for, I believe it's right around $300, and I'll post it right there so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. That might be one for you. I'm actually going to request that they send that one to me also, so I can review that one, just so I can really just tell you for sure which one is the better one. But overall, I have no complaints about this system. It does what it says it's going to do, and I don't know about the longevity of the system. Like, I don't know about the durability, how long it's going to last, if I'm going to lose a microphone at some point, it's just going to die on me. I have no information on that because it is a newer tested product for me. But for the 2 parties that I did, I had absolutely no complaints. And it's rackable, so you can put it in your rack, you can put it underneath your controller setup. Oh, and by the way, I know I'd mentioned that the antennas were long and I was concerned they weren't going to fit in the controller. Actually, they fit just fine in the bottom of the controller base using I'm using the Pro X case. It worked just fine. So if that's an issue for you, don't worry about it. It'll fit in there nicely. Thank you.